Hello, Gotham! Joker here. We interrupt your regular programming to deliver an important message. Make sure you subscribe to that bearded oaf, Galactic Criminal, by visiting the links in the description box and at the end of the video. Also, be sure to support that young punk AnimetalViking and his cohorts by checking out their respective channels. If not, I'll be sure to play you like a violin. I will demonetize your videos, blacklist your channel, and shadow ban you if you don't. There. That'll get dear old Batsy's attention. Holly, stay here and make sure they watch till the end. Boys, follow me. I've got a party planned and I don't like being late. Well, what are you waiting for? Start the show.
Hey guys, what is happening? AnimetalViking here, and welcome to the 4th episode of the AnimetalKast podcast, which is actually a re-recording. We managed to screw up and lose the original audio, but not to fear. Claudio was unable to make it during the original recording, but now he has managed to join us. Thank you so much for being able to make it today, Claudio.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me.
And of course, guys, if you didn't know already, it will be in the title of the video. Today's podcast is with the one and only Galactic Criminal. He is known throughout the galaxy of YouTube, and he is notorious for his wicked sense of humor and his awesome Joker impersonations. Awkward start. Okay. Okay, so guys, as per usual, the links will be in the description box below to Peter's channel and to all his social media accounts, and the link to his channel will also be at the end of this video as well. So guys, please, if you could go check out his channel. He makes awesome content, and yeah, if you're down for some metal reactions and punk reactions, his channel is the place to go. So yeah, let us get this underway. So as per usual, guys, feel free to ask Peter any questions. And well, since Michelle and I are kind of familiar with Peter already, Claudio is going to be doing the honors today for the most part. So Claudio, any questions? Be sure to fire away.
Yeah, sure. I do have a question. I've seen a few of your videos, and you have a lot of metal stuff on them, which I think is cool. You seem to know a lot about metal, punk, and stuff like that, which is something I appreciate whenever looking at.
Well,
yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, I appreciate that.
there.
Yeah, I think so. I think we have a little bit of lag, perhaps.
That's all right.
Yeah, but anyway, as I was saying, I think it's cool that you have some sort of knowledge of whatever you're reacting to. I just wanted to know, you're a metalhead, or you listen to punk, or what's up with that?
Yeah, so I guess I would say like the deal with that would have to be, I've said it in a few videos. I can't say it in every video, honestly, but from like mid-teens to late 20s, even to now, I was mainly into like my local scene, punk bands and stuff like that. Yeah, honestly, if you're into punk, chances are you can't avoid metal. It's going to be around you. It's going to be around the people that you know. So
Yeah.
I was always into the scene. I was around guys that were in bands. So I kind of have like a better understanding than maybe just like the average person to certain types of music. And like metal just ended up kind of being the one that I've stuck with for the channel. People tend to like it. I try to do some other stuff, but the thing is about my channel is that it's kind of like me exploring the worlds and the subgenres of metal itself. I didn't really get to know a lot of these bands. Like when I say I haven't heard this band before, people are like, how the fuck do you not know this band? They've been around forever and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I never listened to that. It was all local shows. You go through my CD collection. It's all local bands. So this kind of me finding a way to catch up on the stuff that I missed around that time.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So you were like a local kid in like a hardcore punk scene, I guess, and a lot of local bands then.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, and obviously, like, metal bands would be peppered in there. A lot of thrash for sure. That's mainly like my forte is like really fast punk, fast thrash, and shit like that. But I'm really open to a lot of different music, and obviously, like my opinions of music changed over the years. I've listened to a lot of different stuff, so I can kind of I tend to be able to pick up on a lot of different like music structures and stuff like that. I've never, written any music myself, to be honest, except for like shitty power chord punk and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like I bring a different kind of perspective. I listen to the music mainly from like an average listener's point of view as to what somebody would be hearing for like surface level of a song, but I can also like pick the things apart, and I can hear the different like influences, and I can hear like isolate the drums in my head and the guitar, and that it sounds like a fucking superpower. But but yeah, I tend to pick it apart, and I can analyze it, but I like to give my reviews in a way that's more opinionated rather than me saying I know what's right and anything you think is wrong. This is my opinion. This is what I think of it. If you agree, hey, that's cool, right?
Yeah.
I see. I think it's cool. I see on your profile pic that you look like Papa Emeritus. Is that was that a conscious choice, or was it just like what was that?
That was actually a face paint that I did for an intro for a video. It was, the channel 10 Second Songs did a cover of Ghost. And
okay.
so I created an intro where I did that face paint, and I thought the picture was so cool, and I didn't know what to have as my profile picture, and it feels like it just kind of fit.
Yeah, it is cool. That's why I was asking you, because I listen to Ghost a lot, and you do look like Papa Emeritus in that picture. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like one thing I find is my favorite part about doing the channel. It's like it's been since I started, and especially more into now is doing different styled intros. Like a reaction channel is a reaction channel, and you can have the same intro if you like what you have there. But I think of a stupid idea or a funny idea, and I think I could change it up. That could be the thing that kind of maybe makes me stand out a little bit different than others. Is that it's not the same intro each time.
Yeah. That's really a good idea. Yeah, the variety. Yeah. For sure.
Awkward silence because of the delay.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's funny though, like that whole intro thing. I'll be 100% honest here, especially with Claudio. Is when I started, I was a big fan. Still watch your channel, and cool. I really liked your intro structure. Kind of how you said, "Let's do this," and then the music. But then I kind of copied that in a way, but I would say something like, "What's up, fuckers," and then have the music play or whatever. So yeah, I didn't know what I was doing, so I kind of just copied some stuff, I guess, to get.
Yeah, neither did I at first. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing, to be honest. I just stuck with the music because it was like a semi-upbeat kind of riff I did a few years back. And I thought it was fitting for the channel. I get a lot of questions about the music I have in my channel. It's all my stuff, but it's like that's the only thing I know I can use without getting copyright strikes and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think that I like most about my channel. It's a hobby. Yeah, and so like I never really ever planned to monetize my videos, and I still haven't yet. And the fact that pretty much all of the groups that I listen to, they don't allow monetization; they monetize by themselves. And that fits perfectly well for me. I don't want this thing to ever kind of feel like it's like a job or anything. It's always something just fun for me to do, right?
Yeah, it takes a while. I guess it depends on how much. I mean, not the reaction itself, but I'm talking everything around it, like music could give you a strike if you use it without proper permission. Sometimes you get a copyright like a claim, which is totally okay. I'm totally fine with those. Those are no problem at all. Actually, mostly of my channel is claimed either way, so that doesn't matter money-wise. But the problem is, like, when you use music, sometimes you could get a strike, and not a claim, a strike, and that can really hurt your channel if you're not being careful.
Yeah, actually, I did get a strike early on. I'm pretty sure that happens with most React channels when they start not really knowing how the whole YouTube thing works. I was doing like J-metal bands and stuff, and I would see like next to the video manager it says includes copyrighted content, but I just assumed that it was letting me know that I can't monetize because copyright's in there. And then I got a strike. I got 2 videos taken down. And I learned my lesson. I, researched YouTube copyright. You can look up the music. Like if I can't find like that there's an actual copyright policy or whatever in the YouTube create tab, then I probably won't do the video if I'm looking to do a band, right? It's like, so I always search first, but
smart way to do it.
Yeah, always the best way to go.
Yeah. So Peter. Do you like crunchy peanut butter or creamy peanut butter?
Oh my God, that came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
Bravo, Michelle.
Oh my God.
We're talking music and then peanut butter. What?
There was an awkward silence. I had to do something. Come on now.
That's more of a delay, but
I like
we
crunchy
get you.
peanut butter.
Yes, he's on the crunchy side. Do you like your orange juice? Do you like your orange juice with pulp or no pulp?
Oh, jeez. I guess it depends on the mood. No pulp. What the fuck? Come on.
Oh, no. I like to chew my orange juice, man. I want to chew it. I don't want to drink it.
Season 3 of Food Wars, people. This is
So I have a question, actually, for Claudio.
Yeah.
So on the last recording that we tried out, they mentioned to me that you had some problems a while back, I guess, with doing metal reviews, that you were having issues with, commenters and stuff like that. I was wondering if you could elaborate a bit on that as to maybe why you don't do them so much anymore, if that's something that affected them, or...
No, it wasn't really that. It's like I've had some problems with it, but I mean, it's more like it went. This is so funny. It just went out of hand with one particular one I did. I don't remember what it was. I think it was like a band that Russ sent me like a year back, or even longer than that, called. The hell is the name of the...
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Exactly, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. It's like this, I guess, Japanese pop, rock, metal, downcore, techno, music, I don't know. Some bullshit like that, and I didn't like it. I was like, okay, fuck this band. These guys suck, basically, right? The amount of hate and fucking threats and like death threats for real and stuff like that that came with my comments to that particular video were fucking insane. So I mean, that's not the only reason why I don't do them as often, but it's like, if there's something new, I'll do it. If it's I've been into the metal scene for like pretty actively a majority of my life, basically, and I played in band and I've been around and I've heard a lot of bands. So it's very rarely that I find something new that excites me, right? Most of the titles I get, will you listen to Opeth? And I'm like, I've been listening to Opeth since back in the 90s, so no, I won't do that.
I've been living in Sweden. I've been listening to Opeth.
Yeah, that's what I'm brought up on. So it's like, not a lot of bands are exciting enough for me. Every now and then I get some bands that are cool that I do reactions to, but mostly it's like the same thing. Oh, could you check out the song by Arch Enemy? Like, dude, I already heard it. Like, oh, could you check out the new Children of Bodom? Already heard it. Oh, could you listen to the new In Flames album? I'm like, I'd rather not. It's like, fuck that. And that's why I don't do a lot of metal, basically.
Okay, I can see that. I can definitely see how that makes sense too, but I guess it would probably be because maybe your review was was more polarizing than people would like, because like it's their favorite thing, obviously, right? So they'll attack you if you don't like it. But yeah, if you think, I don't know, I never saw your video, but if you said like, this band's shitty, I don't like them, you know, and that was all of your commentary.
Yeah,
I could
no,
see
that wasn't really all the comment. That was basically how they took it, more or less. I didn't comment like that. I wasn't talking down the band or giving them shit at all. Actually, on the contrary, I was like, on one hand, it's good, but I just don't get this. I don't understand how you could mix this with this, and how this is metal. And, you know, I don't really remember what I said, but it sounded like a Japanese pop band to me, with synths and singing like...
and Nintendo 8-bit stuff. And, yeah. No, I remember. No, you weren't talking down on it.
No.
You were doing like what Peter does. Like Peter, he gives his opinion. He says, this is my opinion on it. Like, I don't necessarily understand it. It's not my cup of tea, but it's not a bad thing. So you did pretty much the same, because I still remember that video when you did it, and then barely a day or two later, you post this video saying, I got sent a death threat, and he went into full detail about how this motherfucker sent you a death threat because you didn't like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And at the time when you did the reaction, I remember when you did it, like, the anime series Parasite just came out, and the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas did the opening theme for that anime, and a whole bunch of others. One of their songs was on the new Hunter x Hunter anime. So they were pretty popular. And so basically, of course, the weebs are going to come attack you in the comments and be like, oh, you dare you attack my band.
No, but I didn't give him shit at all, to be honest. It was just like, it wasn't for me. I didn't really understand it. And this dude is singing with fucking auto-tune, and it sounds weird, and then people are getting really, it's like, oh, it's a vocal synthesizer, it's not auto-tune, and they start, to nitpicking. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
That's so funny. It's so funny that you mentioned that, because like I said, I got a strike, and that strike happened to come from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh, there you go.
I got two videos taken down. I think one of them is actually still up, and I said the exact same thing. It's like, is that fucking auto-tune?
Yeah.
And they said, and the same thing in the comments, they said, no, it's vocoder. I'm like, well, it sounds exact fucking same thing. You know what I'm saying.
It's like fucking specifics.
Yeah, sometimes, people in their comments, like I'm pretty good at letting that stuff just kind of roll off my back, because I understand the YouTube audience. I kind of guess them, and so I see a comment that says something shitty to me. Sometimes I reply if it's like something just attacking me personally rather than the content. But I just I see that shit just like, really, like.
Yeah, I get you totally, Peter. Like, I mean, I don't respond to that shit anymore. I've been like on doing this now. It's coming up like 2 years, but like I spend practically every single day browsing shit on YouTube, Facebook, and stuff. I've even shared my RWBY reactions in RWBY groups on Facebook, right? And I've had countless motherfuckers sending me the same generic, hate comments and stuff. And I'll never forget. I think the best hate comments I got, it was like 6 in a row, long paragraphs. Like, I kid you not. I reacted to the Wonder Woman trailer a while back, and this motherfucker, he thought I was shitting on DC EU movies, because you know how the DC fanboys are, because like, Marvel's dominating the box office and shit. So this person's like busy commenting like in long paragraphs below my videos, like, Batman v Superman was a masterpiece. There was no shoehorning. There was no. For someone who claims to be a fan of DC, you sure shit on these movies a lot. I hope you get fucking cancer and die. And I'm like,
jeez.
Okay. So I'm just like, I didn't reply to the guy. I just read them over, and I'm just like, lol, this is hilarious, because I've seen this same shit before. And then I don't know if Peter's seen it when I reacted to the recent RWBY shorts with Weiss, someone commented below that they're like, oh, unsubbed, you don't know what you're talking about, because I said that one part of the fight scene I thought was, the way it was directed was a little bit lazy because of the way the camera shot was done. I was like, it could have been done a little better, because Monty, and even the fight scenes in Volume 4, like if you watched RWBY's little shorts, there was a lot more effort being put into the camera angles. This one had one specific part I thought was kind of lazy, and then this motherfucker just comments below the video like, oh, I'm subbing from you don't know what you're talking about, and I'm like, I didn't hate on the thing. I said the lighting was great, the animation is great, everything's improved, but because I said that one little thing that's like, oh, you must fucking die, I'm like, I don't care, dude.
Yeah, but that's the way. That's what's up.
Man, y'all make me so happy I don't have a reaction channel, let me tell you that.
Yeah, I think one that actually kind of like had a resurgence for me, I saw like a recent comment. It's an older video. I did a reaction to the trailer for the movie Hacksaw Ridge. I don't know if y'all saw that.
No, I know of it though.
Okay, so anyway, I reacted to the trailer itself, right? I didn't research into the story behind the movie or anything like that. I'm just reacting to a movie trailer. That's what I was doing, especially at the time. And I was commenting something about how like I can't remember the name of the actor. He played Spider-Man at one point, and I was talking about how
Tobey Maguire, yeah.
It was the other guy after him, but anyway,
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that's his name. Anyway, he was doing his accent like a southern like Louisiana accent in the trailer and in the movie, which I did end up seeing. But it sounded silly. It sounded like it's a bad accent. He's kind of sounded like Forrest Gump, and that's kind of what I said. And so like I made a joke, something similar to that. Like it sounded silly, and there's no way I'm gonna buy this guy as this character. And like the comments didn't blow up, but there was there's a lot of commenters absolutely have to be Americans getting all butthurt because this guy was like this guy was a fucking hero. He saved like 75 people and shit like that. I'm like, I didn't say fucking one word about the guy that he's based on. I said, this actor sounds like a fucking idiot in this trailer, and I'm not going to be able to buy him in this movie. It's probably going to be awesome.
Yeah,
and then they fixate on one thing and just get all fucking crazy about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I get what you're saying. Like you are like some people can't separate like fiction from reality. You're criticizing the actor, not the actual person who did that thing. But then these people are like, oh, how dare you insult our hero? And I'm like, it's an actor. Do you honestly think they like called a necromancer up and were like, hey, let's raise the corpse of the actual dude and then fucking zombify on the bloody set? And then it's like, well, what? So I can totally get you, dude. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, YouTube's like a box of chocolates. You're never gonna know what you're going to get.
I have something I want to bring up regarding. Oh, sorry, Peter. Finish up.
No, I was just gonna say I tend to not respond to that kind of stuff. I just let it go. I see as soon as I realize it's a hateful comment, I move past it. It's not worth my time.
Yeah, let it go. But anyway, there's actually something I want to bring up that's very interesting with YouTube now. And obviously, I saw this happening last night. Michelle, I don't know if you saw my tweets on it, but it looks like now, Peter, I'm sure you're aware of what's going on with YouTube with the whole censorship thing that's going on and stuff like that. So even if you don't monetize your content, these guys, it's like they put your channel on a blacklist and everything like that. It's so stupid. But you know what I found so hilarious is and now everyone's so offended now on YouTube that I don't know if you guys are familiar with the YouTuber Cover Killer Nation. He does a lot of metal reviews, album reviews and stuff. He posted a video. It was basically like a memento, a tribute of sorts to his deceased grandparent, right? One of his deceased grandparents, and they flagged the video as unsuitable for advertising.
Man.
For a controversial I'm like, it's his grandmother. What the fuck are you talking about? So YouTube is, I don't know, maybe this could be the final nail in the coffin for YouTube. I don't fucking know. It's just totally bizarre.
I'm not happy about that blacklist thing. Yeah, well, it's funny because, like I was telling you about the views on my, I had that one animation, it had 78 views forever, even though I'd showed it to 6 other people and the view count didn't go up. As soon as I started bitching about it, all of a sudden, presto, it's up to 107 all of a sudden. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Same.
You know, it wasn't until after I started mentioning, hey, something's wrong with the views, something's wrong with the views, something's wrong with the views, and all of a sudden, presto, like magic.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
YouTube are goofing up badly, and like, I mean, I know it won't really affect channels like you know, who don't monetize their videos in a way, but I mean, like, let's be honest here, what would the channels be without profanity at some point in them? So I don't know. I just swear regardless. But it's just so weird. Everything's been like kind of pushed down and censored, and I'm kind of worried about how it's going to affect, you know, like metal videos in particular, because, you know, metal music, it covers like, you know, very touchy, controversial, like out there stuff, and it doesn't necessarily fall into, you know, what ever the people at YouTube agree with. So if they're hitting Cover Killer Nation and the Rageaholic, I have no idea where it's going to go from there.
I don't know. And maybe everybody's going to pack up and go to VidMe.
Yeah. We better go to VidMe, Peter, so watch out.
Well, that's like, I guess I would say that's the thing, really, is that YouTube is, like, people think it's going to be around forever. And I have a pretty strong feeling it's not going to. A competitor's going to pop up, just like with MySpace, and then Facebook came along. I think something like that, or something along those lines, is going to happen. Or even like YouTube becoming like a pay-only service, something like that. But like you were saying, like if they're like censoring people, I don't like maybe muting their video. I've heard something like that, like kind of blocking videos or age gating them or whatever because of like explicit content, shit like that. It's not really going to bother me too much. I don't necessarily care so much about the views. Like if I see I get a lot of views on a video, I'm like, hey, that's pretty sweet. But it won't necessarily bother me that much. And there's like no way that I'm going to change the way that I am in my videos. I swear, if you watch my videos, I swear constantly, and that's just me. That's
the best part about them.
Oh, it's part of my personality. So like, yeah, I don't really delve into a lot of the news and stuff like that. Like a while back, I did a very short run podcast with a guy that I've met from Texas, and he wanted to do that kind of thing, talking about, you know, like Twitter beef and YouTube stuff, and I just like every time he brought something up, I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, man. like fucking beefs between YouTubers and shit. Like I'm like, oh god damn it, the fucking negativity on the internet. I mean, sometimes it's funny, but I have to avoid it, and that's why I think for me personally, in my videos, is even if, like you said, like even if I'm not necessarily a big fan of a song, I will absolutely give like the points that I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. I'm not just going to sit there and just shit all over it, you know? I did do a video a while back to a band called Semblant. I believe they're from Russia or Brazil, I think, actually.
Yes, I think I remember that.
Oh, it was utter trash, and I was just laughing at it and making fun of it and how bad it was. And, you know, like, to this day, I still don't really get a lot of negative comments. But some people were not too happy about that. But for the most part, people kind of got what I was saying, because it was fucking bad. But yeah, so like I don't want to be just like totally polarizing and just like to one side, just be like, you know, shit all over a band. Like I think we said in the other recording, is if I start listening to a band and like I get halfway through it and I don't like it like at all, or I feel like I'm just not gonna have anything to say about it, nothing to contribute, I'll just delete the video, maybe try again with a different group, or I'll just say, yeah, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to do a video today.
I respect you for that, man. I do. I respect you for that.
Well, I kind of feel like I make videos that I would like to watch, and what was I gonna say? Yeah, I make videos that I'd like to watch, and I just don't want to be negative. I want to have people have a positive experience.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. Shit, my voice is going. I have another question. I actually have a bunch of questions, Peter, that I never got to ask you in the original recording because we were getting so into the conversation that like I kind of dropped half the questions I typed up the last time. I want to ask, Peter. Now, obviously, you are a fan of comic book characters. Now, apart from Batman, are there any others that you know that you maybe enjoyed or something like that?
I think, especially when it comes to even in like reaction videos, I've kind of said before is that I was never really into into comics, like in depth into comics. Like I grew up, you know, in the late '80s and through the '90s. So all the stuff that I was a big fan of was the cartoons and the movies and stuff like that. So like Batman animated series, like Spider-Man, you know, X-Men, stuff like that. That's where I know any lore that I know comes from that. I don't know like a lot of the like in-depth lore. Like I checked out the trailer for the new Thor Ragnarok. Never heard anything about it. I had to have someone tell me that, you know, this is the storyline, this is what it's from or whatever. I've just always been a big fan of like the visual stuff, and especially like you said, obviously I favor the Joker. The Mark Hamill Joker is just the most perfect thing in the fucking world. But yeah, like for any comics I really actually did get into, it was mostly like Batman, maybe some Deadpool, some Punisher.
Oh yes.
That was like really young, but especially at the time I wasn't really an indoor kid, right? So I was out, you know, bossing and fucking kicking people and playing hockey and stuff.
Skinny dipping in the creek.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I got into that stuff, you know, a little bit later. But yeah, like I've never really been a straight up fanboy of just one or the other, you know, like of just Marvel or just DC. Like
yes.
But I think probably like my mainstay would have to have been for comics. I did read a lot of like Ninja Turtle comics, like some of the earlier stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. Now, I never read the Ninja Turtles comics. Like, I mean, I was pretty big into comic books at a particular phase of my life, which was like the middle part of my junior school years. And I did still kind of pick up the odd book here and there, but I'm like with you there. Most of the lore that I know comes from the animated shows. I also grew up Batman, the animated series, Batman Beyond, and every other DC thing that came out at the time, the 90s Marvel cartoons. But when I did do a bit more research and stuff like that, always the comic book shop here, I managed to pick up some great timelines, you know, like the Age of Apocalypse and stuff, which is a friggin' must read. So yeah, no, but I get to, and I agree with you there with Hamill's Joker. Like, fucking hell, I don't think there's a live action Joker that can beat that, and none of the other cartoons I've watched can beat that either. And comic books. Unfortunately now, like, I mean, like, obviously I can't pick one or the other, but if you look at the way way Marvel is going with their books, it's something that is literally driving everyone towards DC now. It's kind of bizarre. So I'm actually worried for the next phase of Marvel movies once they kill off, you know, the signature characters, because now it's going to be like, oh, let's introduce the characters that nobody likes in our comics to the big screen, and nobody's going to like them on the big screen. So I'm like, oh boy.
Man. When I was a kid, I absolutely loved the original Ninja Turtle movie, right? When I was a kid. But if you watch that thing now that you're older, you realize just how poorly made that movie really was. You can actually see the guys in the costumes and stuff.
That it's awesome. It's an awesome movie. You're fucking shit, Michelle.
Bad boy debate.
No, man, no. You can like, there's this especially like one point where the dude opens the mouth too wide. You can actually see the dude inside the costume. There's like other parts where like you can see where the katana like was made out of plastic and bent.
Dude, I rather watch the old Ninja Turtles movies than the current ones, if I'm being honest.
Oh, they're weird. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, the Michael Bay ones are weird as fuck.
I don't like how they look. you know, they're kind of creepy looking turtles now. I don't know. It's just something
They're
about
too
it.
fucking big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're way too fucking big. The original movie, I have to watch that at least once a year. That is one of my favorite movies of all fucking time. There's like 4 or 5 movies that I will have to watch every single year, regardless, and that is absolutely one of them. It's so dark and cool, and then, like back in the '90s, they thought that kids could handle that kind of stuff, and we could. And then then the second one and the third one came out, and they had like cartoony eyes, and they were like, I think Jim Henson was puppeting them, and it turned into like the cheesy cartoon
Vanilla
style.
Ice was in there.
Yeah.
I mean, Vanilla Ice on there.
He was in the second one, I think.
Yeah. If you look into like the old Ninja Turtle comics, it was very, very dark and brooding, almost like a Batman kind of feel. And that's what I liked so much
like
about
Frank Miller stuff.
Yeah, it was. Oh man, it was friggin' brutal, you know. So yeah, and the new stuff coming out, I understand it. Obviously, being a fan, you know, just like the internet, how they blew up, how it sucks or whatever. It's not for us. It's for the kids now. The kids now need the big giant things and the giant set pieces and the CG because they're getting fucking iPads at 3 years old, for fuck's sake. You know, they don't have to like, you know, trust their imagination. Yeah, they don't have to trust their imagination.
You got a point there.
All their toys, their toys play for them. Their toys play for them. They just watch their toy play. So it's like, so they have to have this constant visual stimulation because that's all that they're getting from the moment that they're born. Somebody's got a camera in their face and shit. You know, I might sound like an old grumpy bastard, but that's basically the reality of it. And I'm not even that old. I'm only 33. That's old compared to some people. They might say I'm an old fucker, but you know, just that's what I see. You know, people with their dumb faces looking down at a stupid screen all the time. That's why these movies are the way they are, and the fact that they sell so much is just a confirmation of, you know, the degradation of people's imagination.
By the way, did you guys know that Corey Feldman actually voiced Donatello?
Yes,
oh yeah,
I did know that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't find it out until way later.
Yeah, the old movies. Yeah, I used to love his movies growing up. You know, like in the 80s.
The Burbs. That was a great film. The Burbs. Corey Feldman was in that. Yeah, The Burbs. He did
a lot of cool stuff back in the 80s.
Oh man, what's that? Damn it, the vampire movie.
Lost Boys.
There it is. Thanks. Yeah.
Such a
Lost
great
Boys.
movie. It's a classic.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It's a classic. It's a classic movie.
Sorry, I just want to drag it back to what Peter was saying when Peter was talking like that. People thinking you're old. You see, Claudia, now you got another person who can be seasoned, as we said in the podcast with RWBY.
Seasoned, huh? Motherfucker.
You need to have a beard to be seasoned.
Yeah. Hey, Russell, you can hit me up when you can grow one.
Yeah, but seriously, I thought that was just hilarious how Peter's just like, everyone thinks I'm fucking old and everything like that. And I'm like, I just thought the first thing that crossed my mind was the podcast we did with RWBY, and then you started going at me like, I'm not seasoned, I'm not that old.
No, but I mean, compared to you guys, I'm old. I mean, I remember, well, I don't remember Goonies, but I mean, I was alive when it came out. And that movie's, we're talking about Corey Feldman, once again, the Goonies came out, I think, 85 or something like that. And I saw it when I was really, really little. So, I mean, I am older than you guys, for sure.
I love that movie, too, The Goonies. That's just such a good movie, too. Yeah.
Fantastic movie.
That's funny you mentioned The Goonies, because I was talking about, like, the like, kind of 5 movies that I got to watch every year. There was, like, a competition there, and it's even more so now that they're more of like they're more of like classic movies, but there's people that are fans of one or the other, and that happens with a lot of things. It was Goonies, and I don't know if you ever heard of the Monster Squad.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw Nostalgia Critics' review of that thing. The vampire's like, you little bitch to the kid.
Yeah,
I'm aware of that.
Yeah, another one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, the Monster Squad. I think it's also from the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it pretty much came out around
85, 86, something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's where Stranger Things starts getting its influence from. But speaking of those kinds of movies and stuff, I just want to ask your thoughts. Now, Claudio, I know, is really scared of horror films. So, yeah. But I still want to ask, what are your guys' thoughts on the upcoming It movie? Like, I don't know if you've seen any of the trailers, Claudio, but
yeah, I've seen the trailer. I've seen the trailers. I haven't reacted to them, but I've seen them. And that shit is fucking creepy as fuck. And the old It used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. Fuck It.
Tim Curry. Tim Curry played it. Yeah. Also, great.
So you were holding Jenny's hand the whole time, the trailer, like, Jenny, don't leave my side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember when that came out. I think it was actually like a two-part like TV movie. My dad recorded it, and one day when they weren't home, they weren't allowing me to watch that kind of stuff, so I watched it. Yeah, it scared the fuck out of me. But then ever since then, like, my dad would let me watch pretty much anything, man, like Chucky and Freddy Krueger. And so, like, I have this huge affinity for horror movies. You've probably seen maybe in my listening of video reactions, I do like short horror film reactions. Early on, I was doing trailer reviews, and I did see the It trailer. I did one reaction to the first official, I guess it was, trailer for that, and it looks awesome. It's like, it's almost like a shot-for-shot remake of the original, but like tweaking it a little bit. At least that's what it seems like it is to me. And yeah, I'm excited for that.
Creepy shit. Yeah. Creepy shit.
But do you know what makes it? But do you know what makes it even more creepy now? Is because like now I never knew because like I've never really been into Stephen King, but I never knew, like, all his shit seems to be connected somehow. Like, it's like this guy started a cinematic universe before everyone else did. So apparently It is even referenced in, like, the Dark Tower books and stuff. And then, but not only that, like, it's like we think, like, I mean, if you're a casual like me, who just sees, oh, demonic clown, turns out it's much more than that. Like, I mean, when Stephen King says he took inspiration from H.P. Lovecraft, he fucking means it. Like, apparently it is like some fucking cosmological entity of mass proportions, and those kids never really killed the shit. So I'm like thinking, oh shit, that is gonna come back sometime. So I get what you're saying, Claudio. Fuck it.
Yeah. It kind of like it just manifests itself as the clown or whatever. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, I never really got too into his stuff. Like I said, like when I was a kid, my dad was actually a huge fan of Stephen King books. He read all of them and watched the movies. And there was one movie, if you haven't seen it, you have to, especially people listening. You should check out the movie Maximum Overdrive, starring none other than Emilio Estevez.
Oh, that's the one with the truck with the big green face on it and all the stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good movie.
Yeah. All the machines like gain
all the machines
sentience.
come to life. Yeah, that's it. Oh, that was such a good movie. Oh, I forgot all about that film.
I've never seen that one. I've just seen what's his name? Chris Stuckman doing all the Stephen King reviews until It releases. So I saw the review for that. So Car's been scary, but yeah, I can imagine that must be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I can't read any Stephen King books. I don't like the way he writes. Like it,
dude,
it's hard to follow.
His text is so small. Like how much text? Like you need to take. I remember a friend had The Shining when I was in school, and I remember I had to take a fucking magnifying glass just to fucking read all the text he shits onto one tiny little page. I'm like, how do you read this, dude? And he's just like, oh yeah, Stephen King's great. Gotta read The Shining, dude. It's so fucking scary. And I'm just like, I can't read this shit. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I had trouble reading Lord of the Rings because like Tolkien, he created such a fantastic fucking world, but I was not a fan of his writing style because like he'd start off telling the story, and then the moment it comes across something in the story, he's got to go into the history of why the stick is important or something like that for like 2 pages, and only then resume the story. And I'm like, well, what was a stick really that important? I don't fucking know. So I couldn't get into the books, as you say. But a lot of the movies, like the ones that are good, they look good. But after watching Chris Stuckman and Nostalgia Critics reviews, like, I mean, some of them like just look so hilarious. Like the Sleepwalkers one just looks so fucking stupid and all this shit. So it's really laughable. But I'm not gonna lie, Salem's Lot, I'm not gonna lie, those vampires like actually look pretty creepy. I wouldn't want to be like lying in bed and then the next thing I know, see those fucking eyes glowing and the weird ass looking faces just peering through my window. I'm like, fuck that shit.
You want to know what scared the shit out of me not too long ago? I went and saw Valerian and the Theater of 1,000 Planets. When was that? Like a couple of days ago. And before the movie started at the theater, they showed a trailer for the fuck's it called? I think it's Annabelle.
Oh,
you know, the
shit.
creepy, the fucking doll? Jesus Christ. And you know what? The thing is, I didn't want to bitch out in the theater because, you know, a lot of people surrounding me, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go through this. No problem at all. I ended up fucking jumping the seat, dude. I was like, fuck! Scared the shit out of me. I was like, fuck this.
That's awesome.
Jenny was just laughing, dude.
I love horror movies. I absolutely love horror movies. But yeah, like I definitely have a few things in horror movies. If they are there, it just gives me the fucking willies. It has to be little fucking creepy kids.
Yeah.
Dolls that move when you're not looking.
Yes.
And then fucking chicks that with hair over their face where their bodies are twitching and shit like the Grudge.
Oh, fuck. Dude, this shit has two of those three. It has the fucking doll, creepy as fuck, and it has the little kid, the family that moves into the house, who start talking to this doll. It's like, fuck my life. I was about to get the fuck out of the theater when that played. Jesus Christ. No way I'm gonna watch that. And it's doing really well in the box office, that fucking movie, for some reason.
Oh, people love them.
Yeah, people are loving it.
Like, everyone saw The Conjuring. I remember in school, everyone was like saying, like, oh, guys, you want to get together, go watch The Conjuring. And I'm like, oh, no, thanks. I'm not into those fucking exorcism films. So then everyone, like, I remember going to the shopping mall one day, and some of my friends from school were actually at the theater, and I just remember seeing like a stampede of fucking people running out of the theater because The Conjuring was so scary. Just heard the screeching behind me. I turn around and look, I just see like girls leading the way, and then the guys running after them like this. I'm like, what's going on in there?
That's funny.
It literally, no jokes, that actually happened. And like, I was like, what the fuck's going on here? But, when it comes to horror movies for me, like, I don't mind those, you know, the atmospheric horror or like a brief jump scare or so, but I cannot take like exorcism films. I fucking hate the exorcism films. And I cannot stand ones that have, you know, like the really gross, you know, like stuff that does weird shit to the body and stuff. Like, that's why I could never watch a movie like John Carpenter's The Thing, because just the way that shit like does shit to people's bodies, and I'm like, ew, that's so gross. And then you got that other Stephen King movie with the fucking, what are they, the buttfish or whatever the fuck they were, and the guy was sitting on the toilet. I was like, no, stop it. It's so fucking gross. I cannot handle that shit. I can watch a Cthulhu movie if they make a proper one. I don't think they ever will. They can make a Cthulhu movie any fucking day. I would rather watch The Call of Cthulhu or something like that, or Bram Stoker's Dracula, than fucking see buttfish and bloody other weird mutated shit like fucking or an exorcism. I can't. That's when I start running.
Yeah, you know when.
Have you guys seen It Follows?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I love that film.
That's fantastic. That was the one where the thing that follows gets transferred to the next person when they fuck, right?
Yes. And it could be anything. It could be an old lady, it could be a kid, it could be a guy, it could be anything following you, just following you. I thought that was so clever. It's different. It's such a different enemy to face. And I thought it was so cool. And it actually was filmed in my old stomping grounds because it was filmed in Michigan. And I was like, oh, I know that street. Oh, I know that place. And it was like so wild to watch a horror movie when you know where it's being filmed at. It was so wild. I thought that movie was great. That was fantastic.
That's fantastic. When you see places that you recognize in movies, it's awesome. There's like some Canadian films I see here and there. They're really independent stuff, but then you end up seeing like shots from Toronto and stuff like that. One thing I was going to mention was if you want to see a really fucking crazy movie, especially for like horror movies, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Sam Raimi, the director who did like Evil Dead and stuff like that. Yeah, so he's done a lot of like big budget films. I was looking at his IMDb here. He's like Spider-Man and stuff like that. But he did one film. It was it says 2009. It was called Drag Me to Hell. And it's
I know that film all too well.
So fucking fantastic. Yeah, it was like it was a huge throwback to like the Evil Dead days and like the fucking crazy special effects makeup and just stupid over the top plot. That's my favorite kind of thing, like horror comedies and like.
Yeah. Do you know what you should check out, Peter? I don't know if you'll be aware of this band. Well, there are two bands actually, but the one in particular, I think you should be aware of because of Eurovision. There was a band that won called RWBY, and those guys, their music video, they're from Finland. The song Blood Red Sandman is basically a homage to Evil Dead in a way, and their costumes are fucking kick-ass. Like, I've never seen a band go all out for the horror shit like they do. And then another band, they're from Holland. I think I recommended them to you in the comments before at one point. They're called Karach Angren, and these guys, their albums are based on mostly like real ghost stories, but lately they've been doing some pretty original concepts, and the one particular album is called Where the Corpses Sing Forever. It is one of the most mindfuck horrifying concepts I've ever heard in metal. So if you're looking for some real creepy shit to listen to, you must listen to Karach Angren. And then if you're looking for awesome music videos with fantastic effects, if you like Evil Dead and stuff, I highly recommend RWBY. RWBY are fucking awesome.
Yeah, you know what? I've absolutely seen both of those bands suggested in the comments. I'm glad you said how to say the name, because now I know how to say it properly. I kept saying Karach, but but I'm absolutely at some point going to do Karach Angren. So some things would come up like recently, like some bands that I'm a fan of like have new music that I didn't know about or whatever, and those kind of like have taken they've kind of taken importance, I guess, to me to do first. I'm definitely gonna get around to them. Yeah. I have heard that people mention RWBY and saying that the videos are really fucked up. That's something that I'm a really big fan of when it comes to my videos. Is like a video that has something to it. You know, some people say, you know, check out this band. You know, they don't have any music videos, but they have like a lyrics video or whatever. It's like, well, like it's already like my videos are already somebody staring at my dumb face while a video plays. If there's nothing interesting going on in the negative space, then I don't want to put it out there, because I'm a visual person. I think visually all the time. So that, to me, the contrast of having myself there and then something actually going on, plus, you know, a fucking thumbnail isn't going to be all that great if there's nothing happening on the screen, you know? So
exactly, yes.
Yeah, like the really visual crazy, like early on, I was asking, especially during like the J-Metal reactions, I was saying, give me like the crazy fucking out of the world original fucking crazy shit. Like I can listen to like 100 bands from one genre, and probably like 75% of them will sound exactly the same. And so I'm pretty much going to have the same thing to say at the end of the video about all of them. And I always want to have something to contribute. I want to have something to say at the end. So having the video along with the music gives me a chance to actually like talk about, you know, the look of the band and the way that they present themselves and hold themselves. Because that, you know, that attributes to an opinion or review of a band as well. Because you can hear the song and analyze the song itself, But like going to like live shows, which we talked about on the pre-recording we did before, is that like I went to a lot of shows, like every weekend pretty much, going to see bands. And if a band doesn't really present themselves well on stage, gimmick or no gimmick, it's just a song, it's just the band. Like if they have like the energy, they pull you in. That's what kind of brings me into wanting to check out a band. So like if their video is like visually stimulating and cool, and effects or not, just that's something that I really appreciate, and that's why like I do bands that have music videos.
Yes. I agree with you there.
You know what you should do? I mean, if you were talking about Lordi, the Finnish band.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever heard about the Eurovision Song Contest? What that is?
Yes, that's what I was mentioning.
It's like
they won.
It's the biggest music contest in Europe. Or in the world, I think. And different countries from all around Europe, with some extra guests, they compete in music, which I think is fucking ridiculous. But anyways, Finland sent Lordi because they won like they won their way
2006,
to the top.
yeah.
And they actually won the whole thing back in 2006. This band, Lordi. And this is a metal band. They have like costumes. They look a little bit like Gwar actually, and it's super weird. You should listen to it, watch it just for the heck of it. I mean, you don't have to react to it, but you have to experience it. It's super weird, and the live performances are insane, like really insane.
That's something I appreciate so much about like European television shows. And I can't really watch actual shows, but I do see the clips on YouTube. I do check out. I can't remember the exact names of them, but like like The Voice UK or something like that, you'll see like the metal reactions. They actually they appreciate when the guys come in and they do like I guess they're just singing karaoke to a metal song. But it's like, this is what I want to fucking see. I don't want to hear some pop singer, some dude who, when he sounds like a chick, is what people like the most about him. No, I want to hear some guy, who's like screaming like falsetto or doing like Iron Maiden or something like that,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, same thing in America. They all love their pop so much. You see pop all over the TV. It's, you never really hear any metal on TV. We have like radio stations that'll play it. But other than that, when you're watching TV and you're watching shows like The Voice and stuff like that, it's all pop music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and the same as well.
Sorry, like like I was going to say, the inherent death of, especially America, of the classic MTV structure is what kind of just completely destroyed music. Like 80s metal, and like I was a little kid, but obviously now being older, I know what happened back then. There was a lot of like 80s hair metal bands and stuff like that. Even Metallica made a video, or several anyway, and. Just like the death of that and the turn to like the hip hop and pop, especially in America, has definitely ruined people's experience for when it comes to, especially for like metal bands. Like I'm hearing about all these different genres and stuff that I've never heard of, like djent and fucking prog metal and stuff. And
djent.
I don't know how to fucking say it. But
say it as you want. Just do you, man.
Oh man, I fucking hate when.
I'm just laughing. You reminded me of Steve Terryberry.
Well, it's just something that fucking.
I thought you make a joke, because Steven says it like that, djent, and he makes videos about that. It's hilarious. It's super cool.
Gentleman.
Is the D silent? It's just gent.
Yeah, it's gent.
Okay,
but say djent. It's better. I'm gonna fucking upvote every video I find of yours when you say djent. I'm gonna fucking upvote everything.
There's a few of them. I'll tell you that much.
Great.
That's one thing that actually I wanted to bring up with that is I've said in like several videos. I don't say it so much anymore. I've kind of gotten used to the subgenre structures and stuff like that. But like when somebody asks me to check out a group, I'll check out their Wikipedia to see what genre, quote unquote, they are. Yeah. And then I kind of know what I'm going to get into. Kind of prepare myself for what it's going to be. Especially that I've listened to so many of them now, being over a year now I've been doing this. But that's something that I just don't care. Like somebody says, oh, this is a black metal band, check them out. I look at their Wikipedia, it says they're black metal / industrial or whatever. And so I go in the video and I say, hey, here's a black metal band, check. And I'm checking out for the first time, yeah. And then you look at the comments the next day and they're like, it's not fucking black metal. It's hyper djent melodic fucking It's like, shut up. Who fucking cares? Who
Yeah,
fucking
but
cares what it's called?
I have the same issue, man. I'm telling you, it's the same thing with me. It's like, oh, I really like this melodic metal band. It's not melodic. It's melodic trance / trip hop metal. You fucking cunt. Fuck you. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Super weird.
Yeah, like I understand where they're coming from, and like something I was thinking about earlier today is that like I said before, I was in the punk scene growing up, and when you're in the punk scene, you're gonna be exposed to metal by the people around you and the shows that you go to. It's gonna happen, and you're gonna be a fan of it. But when it's the opposite way, when it's like really hardcore metal fans, anything else fucking sucks. Anything else that you listen to is garbage.
No, but you know what the problem is? It's not metal fans, man. It's not metal fans. It's little kids thinking that they discovered something new. You know what I mean? It's like people being in a subculture where they think they are the only ones listening to that type of music. It's like you have to be able to relate to that, because I say that I used to listen to punk while growing up, which I did. But truth of the matter was that I was listening to hardcore punk. I never listened to like Crass or Dead Kennedys or those types of band. I listened more to like the Youth of Today, that type of hardcore punk. You know, so it's different. But you know, just the difference is that we just didn't point that out as these kids do today, because we didn't have the internet to fucking moan about people or complain about people not fucking saying the correct subgenre. It's so ridiculous. And that's all it boils down to, really, is that these little motherfuckers have the forum to speak up, while we didn't really have that. So we just embraced whatever was given to us and respected the music. That's the difference.
Yeah, you know what? I couldn't have put it better myself. You know, just like, and also like the availability of music nowadays, especially like you said with the internet, is by far superior to what I had, especially in teenage years. Even in the early 20s, the internet still wasn't exactly what it is now. So like Spotify and shit, you can hear all these different bands. Like I said, I was listening to like local bands and shit, so I wouldn't have known about like some of these bands that I'm reacting to because I never got exposed to them. You know, you'd have to like hear it from somebody, like, hey, check out this group, you got to listen to them, and you'd buy an album. That's the way that shit worked back then, you know? And I'm sounding like an old fucking bastard, but that's just the way, that it was, you know? And that's why I wasn't exposed to a lot of these bands. That's also why it's so much fun now that I'm listening to them for the first time. Like I did a reaction, a couple of them actually, like you said earlier, to Opeth, a friend of mine from work. He's a musician, been in bands, and he told me I got to check him out. So I checked out a song, and of course, like everybody says, oh, you picked the wrong song, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I gave my opinion. I tried another one. I ended up really liking them, and I started digging into their back catalog a bit. But it's like the commenters coming on being like, how the fuck you call yourself a metalhead and you never heard of Opeth? Fucking idiot. I'm like, when the fuck did I say that I'm a fucking metalhead?
Yeah.
Not once. And I am not going out of my way in every goddamn video to state my background, especially with like people like asking me like, well, who the hell are you? What's your experience to review music? I'm like, who the hell is anybody's experience to review music?
True.
Somebody who's a musician is going to hear a band or a song or whatever differently than somebody who is like me, who is just around the music, and will have a different opinion. So the whole point behind a review or an opinion review is to find someone who has the same like taste and style as you. So that if you listen to a group, you say, here's what I think of it, and I actually really like it. They're like, oh, okay, well, if he likes it, then I like it too, because I like his opinion.
You know, as you were saying, I mean, I think what I think it is like, for you and me, being old fucks as we are, it's a completely different thing, because back in the day, I used to buy vinyl. I still buy vinyl. I love vinyl. I used to buy my 7-inches, and we used to trade cassettes and stuff like that. And then it came, you know, the CD and the whole thing. And it's like, you bought your music, so you kind of had to invest some time with that music, you know? Today, you don't have to invest shit because you ain't buying shit, you know? When everything is fucking free on the internet, you don't commit to anything, to any fucking thing. And that results in a bunch of spoiled kids giving you opinions that they've heard from either commentators or other people who are more knowledgeable, who knows more about music than they do, and they kind of go along with that. They don't really have an opinion. They just want to fucking troll, and it's they don't invest their time to really get to know the music and the stuff. They just fucking trolls, basically, most of them.
Yeah,
Man, that's a really good point. I didn't even thought of it that way. Yeah, you're right. It's a whole lot different when you have to pay for what you're listening to. Yeah, I really hadn't thought of that. But yeah, you're right. You can download anything. Just download it for free. Yeah.
And if you don't like it, it's like, oh, this sucks. But you don't know, motherfucker, because you just heard the one song. But if you buy the whole album, perhaps you start liking it. You know, that's the thing.
Yes. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to think of a band, like, for example, like you say, with the whole single thing. Like I remember there was a band. What was it? Like, I remember when I first discovered Scar Symmetry, Claudio. Like, I discovered them like way back before I discovered your channel and stuff. I discovered them way back in high school. But the particular song that I heard of theirs was one of their songs that was, you know, a little less catchy, a bit more technical. And I was at that point in my life where I was still into the metal that had the simple verse, chorus structure. Yeah. I wasn't too much into the technical stuff. So what happened then is I would I avoided the band as a whole because I was like, oh, well, Scar Symmetry aren't my thing. But then after talking to you like many years later, and you were like, no, check him out, Christian Ovestum, he's a damn good singer and everything. And I knew about Christian Ovestum obviously because of Demon Hunter and what he collaborated with them. So I went back and checked it out, and now they're one of my favorite fucking bands ever. I used one of their songs in my AMVs. And I went out of my way to listen to the whole album as opposed to, you know, having another person who reviews albums say to me, oh, this band is trash or this band is good. I was like, let me actually give it a listen, you know? So, yeah.
That's the way to do it, man.
Sorry.
Yeah,
always.
Something that just, this is like totally an aside from what you guys were just saying, but something that I was thinking about is something that I had said in a video at some point. I forget which one it was, but somebody had suggested to me a band, and I think it was Decapitated, actually. It was a recent video that I reacted to. And
oh, yes.
They ended up being pretty good, but I even said in the video, because the person that suggested it to me said Banger gave it a fucking 4 out of 5 or something like that. And I was like, no, fuck that guy. Fuck that channel. That, like, you were talking, I think you said something earlier, Claudio, about something, what I was thinking, but when I see those videos of his and some of the other people that are on there, and they're rating bands, like giving them like a 4 out of 5, like, it's music, just like movies, like anything else, is subjective. Everybody views it or listens to it differently. So giving your opinion is one thing, and saying what you like and didn't like, you know, especially if you're very knowledgeable, that's fine. But when you come down and you're like, oh, it's a 4 out of 5. Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
It doesn't mean shit.
It's a 4 out of 5 for you. It's a 4 out of 5 for you. Like, I just listened to a band that Russell here actually suggested to me. It was Vulvodynia, which
I've listened to them as well.
It's fucking vagina fucking pain apparently, but I've never really been a big fan of that style. It never appealed to me. That style of vocal, like the music was good, but that vocal, it's just kind of like fucking forks on a plate or something like that for me. That's just being honest, you know. But
yeah,
like, am I gonna give that band a fucking like 2 out of 5? No, people obviously enjoy it. Other people obviously enjoy it. Otherwise, it wouldn't exist. So why would I sit there and say, "Well, this is shitty because I didn't like it"? You know, like, if I'm not specifically a fan of it, okay, well, I absolutely loved certain parts of it. I think the music was fantastic. But is it something I'm going to listen to on it, you know?
The viewers need to be with you on this, because the thing is, like, I'm going to tell you my opinion, and we're going to do like an analysis of whatever we will listen to, but the opinion is mine alone. I'm not forcing you. I'm not forcing my opinion down your throat. So relax with the fucking hate. It's like, this is what I think. It may be suitable for somebody else, and it is what it is. And you asked me to watch the video normally, so I'm going to give you my opinion, whether you like it or not. And the thing that a lot of subscribers and a lot of people that come through the channels don't really understand. It's like you're asking for my opinion, but still you get mad when I don't agree with you. It's fucking ridiculous. Don't send me a fucking suggestion then. Just don't.
And but I agree with you, Claudio. And when I do like when you've seen my album reviews, Claudio, when I do my album reviews and stuff on my channels, yes, I give them a rating.
But you do analysis. It's
clear,
not the same thing.
Yeah.
You do an analysis of the whole fucking thing.
Yes.
It's not the same.
But yes, I know. I do the analysis. I give the rating like how I felt it would be personally, but I always make sure to include in there at the end of the review, I'll be like, if you are a fan of, like, let's just say I review a band like, I don't know, trying to think of a popular one. If I say, I review Suicide Silence, and then I say to the guys, like, okay, I wasn't a fan of this album, like, I really hated the new Suicide Silence record, but I say to the people, but if you are a fan of stuff like Korn, if you're a fan of stuff like Deftones, if you are into like the alternative metal kind of stuff, then hell yeah, go check this album out. It might be for you. Like, I mean, I didn't enjoy it. I certainly went to revisit it. Enough of the teehees, as they put it. But yeah, I won't revisit it. But I'll always say to anyone else who's watching it, if you're into this stuff, if you like this band, this genre and stuff, go check it out. It will definitely be up your alley. So I always make sure to include that. And also, as you say, Claudio, I analyze it. So I always make sure to be like for example, I just reviewed the whole of Karach Angren's discography that I'm uploading videos on. Like, there were a bunch of their albums, like their new album. I liked it. It had a great atmosphere and everything. But unfortunately, I felt like I would say there, like, I feel the drums are being drowned out. I can't hear Namtar's drumming. Ardek's orchestrations overpowering certain parts, blah, blah, blah. But that's just me. So, but otherwise, I would be like, if you're into Dimmu Borgir, if you're into Cradle of Filth, you'll fucking dig these guys. So, yeah, that's how I've always done my reviews.
Well, you got to look at it like this. You know, you got a subscriber, and they love your channel, and they really get into you, and then they're like, oh boy, you know, I'm going to send them this video, or I want them to review this band, and they're thinking in their head, oh, he's going to love it, it's going to be fantastic, he's going to think it's the best. So then he sends it to you, and then you don't really like it, or you're not as into it as they are, and they get disappointed. So then they're going to be like, you didn't like my video? I was wrong about you. I'm so devastated that you didn't like the stuff that I sent you. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. It's like they get all pumped up because they think, oh, you're going to love it. He's going to love it. He's going to think it's great. And then when you don't, then they get all butthurt, you know. So that's kind of like, yeah. You can't
it's kind of like even when you just don't do it. Like I said before, when I like try to listen to a group, like I said, if I just hate it or I have nothing to say about it, I'll just delete it and then I won't do it. But I'll keep seeing the same band be requested, even by the same people. Like, hey, come on, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? Like, I don't want to respond to them and just be like, yeah, I fucking hated it and I just didn't put the video up. I'd rather just not put the video up at all and, you know, just not get their expectations up or feel like they're being insulted, you know, something like that.
You know what I do in those cases? In those cases, I do the video, and if I don't like it, I actually upload it and let them know. But you can tell by the way I do the analysis at the end of the video that I go into specifics. Because I've played music for a while. So I'm like, oh man, the drummer is fucking awesome. And the 4x4 beat at the beginning was fucking great. And, you know, I go into very much specifics about what they are doing and their individuality within the music context. But as a whole, maybe I don't like it as much. Still, I've tried to put out some positivity by saying like, all right, so awesome guitar player, maybe not for me, but still they are fucking amazing musicians, blah blah blah, and all that good stuff, you know. And that was kind of what happened with this band we were talking about earlier, right? I just didn't get it. I mean, the drummer was fucking awesome and the guitar player was great, but the music didn't do it for me. Still, people get pissed off. So it's like, you might as well just tell them, like, up front. It's like, all right, not for me, but I appreciate this and this and this and that. I mean, you might as well, you know.
So
I was
sorry. In order
sorry,
to,
Peter.
I just wanted to address what he was saying there, and from what I'd said before. Now, for people listening, I'm not doing that all the time. It's very, very, very infrequent that I'll actually do that. I just hate it and delete it. It's just when it's just so bad. I feel like I cannot get a video out of it. That's when that happens. Like more recently, like for a long time, people have been asking me to check out this group called Infant Annihilator. And I'm like, okay, the name of the band sounds funny, but I know exactly the style of group this is going to be, and it's going to be the kind of group that I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to enjoy myself. Like I said, I do this channel as a hobby. It's something that's fun. As soon as it's not fun, I'm not doing it anymore. So I started recording a video for Infant Annihilator. I forget what the name of the song was. Cattle Decapitation, I think it was. Yeah, that's
Decapitation, fornication.
It was. Yeah, that's it. And I was like, and I started like the intro. Like I have to come up with something to say, interesting and entertaining to lead up to the reaction. And then I started playing the video, and I was like, God fucking damn it! This is just a bunch of fucking noisy kids fucking each other in the butt in the video. And the music
video.
Oh man, the music was just bad. I couldn't handle it, and I got halfway through, and I'm like, I am not putting this shit up. If I was like 16 years old, this video would have been funny to me. I can't do it, and people keep requesting it, and I've even said in a couple videos, I'm not doing it. Fucking not doing it.
And Claudio, do you know what Peter actually did though?
No.
It was so hilarious. Greatest clickbait ever. Peter put the video up. He was going to react to Infant Annihilator, right?
Yeah.
And it happened to be on April the 1st. So myself included, we clicked on it, and the next thing you know, everyone got rickrolled. So it was just the whole video all the way through. It was just Peter's face like grinning at the camera, and just Rick Astley going, "Never gonna give you up."
That is fucking awesome.
Greatest clickbait ever.
Best
Greatest,
troll ever.
Comedy. Yeah,
People
Comedy
fucking
Shorts Gamer, none of these
hated that.
guys have anything on Peter here. That was the greatest clickbait ever. That was fucking, oh my gosh.
People fucking hated that. The comments blew up on that with, I fucking hate the internet today. This is stupid. Fuck you. And I'm just sitting there like twiddling my fingers going, I ended up deleting it just because it is stupid. But yeah, it was funny at the time. That's for sure.
No, but that was genius. One last thing I just want to bring up, Claudio, with regards to the analysis you were saying thing again. Claudio reacted to an animation yesterday, a fan RWBY animation yesterday, and God, it was so hilarious. Because we were busy talking on he said, Claudio said in the video, he was like, okay, the animation's good and everything, but the story makes absolutely no fucking sense, and it really does not. So it's it makes no sense, and there are even some scenes where, as good as they are, in terms of copying and adapting, he copied from other anime like Fate Zero and shit, we were all saying, yeah, this is really good, but it was so hilarious. We were busy laughing about, the walking and the storytelling. So I don't know what the diehard RWBY fans are going to comment on Claudio's video when they eventually come.
I don't know.
Oh, this is fantastic animation. How dare you? Can't you follow the story, bro?
I mean, I just released the video, and the only thing I've got is a few comments on the animation and about the story doesn't making any sense. I mean, it just I uploaded it yesterday.
Kill bait.
So it's
that's something I'm a huge fan of, Claudio. Is your fucking RWBY reactions are fan-fucking-tastic. I'm a fan. I'm one of the biggest fucking fans of Rooster Teeth. I got goddamn posters all over my wall and shit.
Cool.
I love RWBY. I'm a sponsor on their site, right? So I see the show, and then I'm like, I cannot wait to see fucking Claudio's reaction to fucking RWBY. When I don't want to give any spoilers in case anybody hasn't seen it, but there was I think it was the end of season 3. There was a monumental moment.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah, just fucking fantastic. And you do all the chibi stuff. I never watched the chibi stuff, from the site. I only watch it on your channel. You see, your because that anime style, it's it's kind of got lost on me. But your fucking reactions to it just makes it that much better.
Thank you, man. That's great. Great to hear. That's cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
No, I cannot wait for that show to come back. It's taking too damn long.
Yeah, we've been waiting, man. And I need to, you know what I would like? I would like to have like a heads up on the new opening song, because I normally do like a cover whenever RWBY starts. I do like a music cover of the opening theme.
Oh, and, it's so good too. I love those.
Sometimes they release them before. I think they did it for like one season. They released the song before they started showing the show. So that year I had some time to really do a good, production kind of thing. The other years have been stressful as fuck. But yeah.
I love your covers of their music. I think for RWBY, I don't want, like we were talking in the other non-recording we did, but about talking about RWBY, and I think RWBY stands alone, I think, for me, as having the best fucking musical score of any fucking anime I have personally seen. Just it makes that show so visceral and cool. Just that's what blew me away. Even though in the first season the animation was good, but it wasn't fantastic.
No,
it's getting
totally
better
agree.
and better, getting way better. But the music just always stands out. Any reaction I see to that stuff, it's always what people say. The music is awesome.
It's always awesome, because I think I spoke on this like a few years back. I don't know, like last year or something. Somebody asked me about it, and it's like whenever you see the animation and the music together, like the fluency of it, it's like it's written for the animation, or maybe they do a piece of music that they write a fight sequence to, for example. It's either way, everything. It's really glued together perfectly. It's really cool. I really love that about RWBY. Actually, I do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have a specific guy that writes the music specifically for that show.
Yeah, they do.
I can't remember what his name is, but
his name is
Miles.
No, it's not. It's not. His name is Jeff Williams. He makes
the music. Sorry. Yeah. Jeff Williams does the music.
Yeah,
yes.
And his daughter is Casey Lee Williams. She sings on it. So that's
nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. I didn't know she was the one who was singing on it.
So he's a multi-instrumentalist guy, but he plays mostly the guitars, and he makes the song accordingly to whatever animation it is, and he has his daughter sing on it, and she has the little girl voice, because she's pretty young. I think she's like 15, 16, something like that.
I think she's 18 now, 17, 18.
Well, but when RWBY started, I mean, there are four.
Yeah, when she
season
started,
4,
when she was young, she was like 14, 15, something like that.
Yeah, she belts it out, man. I think the songs are just, it's written so well. That's why I'm such a huge fan.
Yeah, me too. I really love the music. That's why I do a cover of it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, actually, I had a hard time getting into that anime at first. I think we talked about this before with Russell. Is that I had a hard time getting into it because I don't know what it's called, because I'm a fucking pleb when it comes to a lot of anime. But when the anime's got like when the characters go to like little tiny form and their eyes go really big.
The chibi thing. Yeah.
When they do that, those types of animes have never really been my shtick. I've always liked the more mature adult like type of animes, and so it took me a while to get. They actually got season 1 on Netflix for RWBY. I was like, I should just sit down and just watch it, and just get into it. And cool. I got fucking hooked. And so like two more seasons were out by that time. So I was like, all right, I'm fucking binging this. So,
that's cool. I think it's cool. Okay. You know what? The thing I love about the chibi thing, it's that it's a more relaxed kind of way of like getting more content without everything on the line. You know what I mean? When you watch RWBY as it is, it's like either somebody dies or some shit happens. It's like everything, you're like really hype, but you're really like, on RWBY Chibi, everything can happen. It's a parallel universe, and it's all fun, basically. The stakes aren't as high, and that's what I like about it.
Exactly. Okay, I have just one last thing I want to ask, and then we got to do the outro. Hell, we're running over time.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Don't worry. Last thing I want to ask, and I want to ask this for Peter. Okay, so Peter, now you say you love more serious anime and stuff. Now, have you heard of Team 4-Star?
The name is absolutely familiar, but I've not seen it.
Okay, here's what you should do if you get the chance.
Wait. Team 4-Star. No, that's
Yes.
Oh man, do they do like voices and stuff?
Yeah.
Abridged the anime, yes.
Yeah,
They do Dragon Ball Z abridged, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever seen their series Hellsing Ultimate Abridged?
No, I can't say I have.
It's worth it.
My God. Peter, if you get a chance to, like, maybe you could do it throughout October for Halloween or something like that, whenever you want to do it. React to Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. They release an episode once a year because Hellsing's episodes are like an hour long, but they've got to try and condense it into like a shorter thing so that, you know, people will watch it on the internet, and they write the scripts and stuff. So you need to check out Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. It's literally the humor in that shit is so fucking dark and everything, but it's the best. It's the best. It's dark, it's crass, it's everything. And Hellsing, the original Hellsing anime, is one of the best animes as well. So if you liked Vampire Hunter D, you'll enjoy Hellsing. Hellsing is just full of badass characters, animations detailed, and it never goes into that cheapy form or anything like that. It's fantastic. You will love it. So definitely check that out at some point if you can.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
It's worth
I'll
it.
send you the
it's
links.
worth it. It is. It's hilarious. But you probably should watch Hellsing Ultimate first before watching the abridged series, you know, so that you know the characters and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like something I could probably get into. I haven't watched any anime seriously, like for a whole show in a while, and at least all of it's probably out by now. So
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
only got like 10 episodes, so yeah. Anyways, okay, we better wrap the podcast up.
All right.
Okay, so guys, as per usual, like I said at the beginning, the links to Peter's channel and his social media is all in the description box below. And the link to his channel will be at the end of this video with the other links as well. So guys, thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment section, and share this with your friends. You can follow me on social media. I have a Facebook page, a Twitter page. You can send me a friend request over on my anime list. I have a subreddit now. You can subscribe there if you want to talk more in depth about the videos without the trolling in the YouTube comments. I have a VidMe now where I upload my stuff there in case YouTube takes my stuff down, especially now that profanity offends people. And yeah, guys, also be sure to check out Claudio's channel and Michelle's channel as well, and subscribe to them and show them some love. So, yeah, and be sure to check out my Patreon if you want to see some of the cool reward tiers
Hurry
that
the
are
fuck
there.
up with the plug,
It's so much stuff.
So much stuff.
I have to plug.
Give him your money, please.
Best outro ever. You heard it from the man himself. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And until the next episode, take care of yourselves and have a kick-ass day.
Woo.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I do hope you enjoyed the show. Please make sure that you go and subscribe to Galactic Criminal's channel. It will be linked in the description box below and at the end of this video. Again, if you're into music reactions and horror reactions, then be sure to check out his channel. Also, be sure to subscribe to my friends Claudio Oyarzo, MeShellTiel, and show them some love and support as well. And yeah, guys, once again, I hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out all the links in the description box below. And yeah, Take care of yourselves, and until the next episode, have a kick-ass day.